Yes, we are back for another installment of Realm of Racing here tonight at the Circuit of America. Coda, the big uphill climb into turn 1 that's followed up with the S's of turn 3 through 6s should be on for a good one for round 16 of what's become a very tight fight with only 21 points separating the top 4 at this moment. And with me as always, my man Hunter.
Yes.
How you feeling?
Sure, I'm feeling good. Not necessarily one of my favorite tracks. You know, I guess we're... Whoa, hold on a minute. The new guy putting in pole position right now.
132.7.
Yeah, ahead of Tails. No, but I'm feeling good right now. It's a good day for racing. We can say that. Yeah, like I said, though, USA not one of my, you know, top tracks.
No, it's not a top tier. Definitely not in my opinion either.
Still a solid track nonetheless. Still presents a challenge.
We
Somebody's
see the
spinning.
Red Bull right
And
there.
I'm actually on board with him. That's Blood Gustavo.
I was not, but I seen him spinning.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious on the map. Underrated, like stopped on track. I wonder what he's doing. Maybe a practice start. I don't know. But
so
yeah.
there's an obligated spot to do that.
Yeah, we saw Lewis get a little penalty there. I don't know.
I'm with you though. It's definitely not like a favorite track. Like it's not not at the bottom of my list, I would say, but it's not definitely not one of my favorite ones.
Right.
Not one that I would pick.
It's fair to say mid-tier.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right. Whereas, like, I think in real life, I think it's honestly probably taking the cake as probably one of the better tracks, at least for racing, on the real life side. So, kind of surprising. You don't often get, like, when a track seems pretty good in real life, usually it's pretty good on the sim, but
it's normally pretty almost better in sim for racing if it's good in real life.
Yeah, a lot of difficult, like, windy turns, a lot of fast corners, some slow corners in there as well. There's really a lot of everything, in my opinion. If there was a testing track, it really should be this one, not necessarily Spain. The only thing it really is missing is probably a fast chicane. Kind of like a turn 7 at Spain, that uphill left, right, and then you have like the quick right-hander turn 9. But other than that, it's really got almost every type of corner.
Yeah, I can't remember who designed this. It's not that old of a track, really. What was it open? It's only been open for
I mean, it's
10,
within probably 10
years
to 15.
or something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It hasn't been on the calendar too long. I think still, obviously, like the newest is China. Well, Netherlands. Well, I don't know. Can you say Netherlands? Because it's actually
well, yeah. I mean, it's a they used to race it all the time.
Technically,
but
I guess China, and then Baku was like 2014.
Yeah.
And then USA I don't think was too far before. I think it was probably in like the early 2000s maybe.
I remember watching.
Well, they raced in Indy in 2005. You know that famous race where, you know, like 5 people or whatever were on the grid.
Yeah,
so,
the tire
and I doubt
mishap.
they had 2 U.S. races. I can't remember.
No, I think I almost feel like the last U.S. one, but prior to that was like a year after that, somewhere different though. I can't remember though.
It could have been. Ooh, I don't know. But
I remember watching a video when they were when it was all dirt here, and it was the Red Bull car. How they used to do their testing, and they would be out there drifting when it was all a dirt track.
Duffy's got a purple first sector. As he's heading into sector 2, he's looking really, really tidy right now. Oh, got the car turned in beautifully for the hairpin. That's one of the most difficult corners on this track for me to hook up. But he got the car turned in so early, it allowed him to get on the power super smooth. Avoids the curves on the right, just uses them a tiny bit. Duffy's got such a clean style.
Minor lock up there, but doesn't scrub no time. Looks like another purple sector.
Duffy's one of the few drivers where I say he actually drives like a real life driver. Like his style, he doesn't go all the way out on track limits. He kind of keeps it within the bounds of realism, which I actually really appreciate. Like right here, see how he's not going all the way out wide, and even now he's not sticking, you know, he's not putting that left tire on the edge of the white line like I say I would probably do. And he's going P2, and that's I mean, Canadians put in a 131.6, which is absolutely alien-like, but a great time from Yelphi at a 132.4 that puts him in P2 right now.
I noticed a couple guys.
So
and
both Red Bulls.
Yeah, he gets on the power there. I was just cycling through and seen that.
Same.
Caught on the power a little heavy there.
I've been on board for both spins.
I was just going to mention, though, it looks like Tails and Bio and David set their times on the medium, so they're trying...
Okay.
You know, it is still early in the session right now, but...
Ooh. Hewlett getting, a new face. Hewlett coming over from NFS, subbing for this race. Getting a little bit windy at the last corner. The last corner, I've said this already, but the last corner and then the corner into the straight.
DRS.
Yeah, and then also after the S's, that uphill left-hander. Those are probably the 3 most difficult turns. Oh, he's invalidated again.
Yeah, that uphill right coming up this one.
Right here.
And the next one.
This is one of the most
ones.
difficult turns, I think, honestly, on the calendar. It's actually a lot easier this year. Last year, it felt damn near impossible to hit that thing confidently. But I'm surprised a lot of guys not choosing to use too much curb. Kind of staying clear, almost like I raced Japan earlier today, and that's how it felt. It felt like I couldn't even touch a curb without...
Didn't want to touch him.
Yeah, without getting squirrely. So Groovy struggling to put in a lap. I think he's invalidated twice now as well, but he's back out. He's on a fast lap now. See, this is kind of me and Groovy. This is the style that I tend to adopt, where I try to open up the corners as the most I can. See how he does through the S's. Keeps it flat, I believe, and he invalidates again.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and
maybe got a tiny greedy there. Yep.
Yeah, and that's very easy to do. It's very easy to get greedy on
those
S's.
Super easy.
Especially on the exits, because sometimes you won't hit that line. You'll just barely be off of where you should be with that line on the S's. And it'll force you wide into that final right-hander that's actually going into another long left-hander. So it's more like almost like a double S if you want to say it. But yeah, it can be very difficult if you miss the line. You get sent a little bit too deep. You try to stay flat out, and obviously Groovy just proved not quite feasible. But Tito puts in a time of 1:33.7, puts it into P10. We've got an interesting top 6 right now, a top 7 really. A few guys that we wouldn't necessarily expect, a few new guys, especially in his top few rows. Blood Gustavo in P3, Hayam KK, first-time driver in 4th place, having a really good outing, debut outing. Gelfi obviously in 2nd, Canadian still on pole with that alien of a time. Not the first time we've seen him do that. I think it was Monza. We saw him put in an absolutely insane time. That was like nearly 6 or 7 tenths faster
he
than
almost
anybody.
8/10 of a second up, nearly a second up on 2nd place.
Yeah, Total Carney hasn't put in a time yet. Neither has Groovy. Groovy's actually on the mediums now. I think he was on the softs. Let's see how he does it going into these S's. Hopefully, doesn't mess it up again. But going through the last few corners of sector. Well, I guess he's already been into Sector 2
into
now.
Sector 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, beginning of Sector 2.
Just clips the curb there. Maybe could have gone a little bit farther to the inside. Gonna try to get this
over
toe.
Here.
Taking anything he
can
get.
Yes. As to be expected, you know. If you're not trying, why are you out here?
Of course. We're racing for inches out here for milliseconds.
You could, for sure. As you see the difference in style like you were mentioning, he drives super wide, takes that corner almost over the paint, all the way over the curb as he turns in.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of risky business on some corners, but I mean, when that's your style, you can't really be turned from your style unless you yourself notice something wrong. You can't really be turned from the style of driving that you adopt.
Yeah, no, what you're accustomed to, you gotta roll with.
The fastest way of getting around. So Groovy goes P8 on those mediums, right behind the championship leader, David Shahood. TC still has not put in a lap. I think he's coming out the pits here soon. We've got about 4.5 minutes Here come both the McLarens, the
Yeah, I was
Haas,
just about to mention both McLarens, a Haas, and another car at the end of the
AlphaTauri,
pit
I
lane.
believe.
And somebody else is about to come out. I can't see who it is yet.
Yeah, Canadian, looking like he's...
Oh, it is. TC is coming out now.
Okay. Yeah, I
He's
want
on
to
the
go on
mediums.
board with him. A lot of guys... This is the first time, I think, where we've seen several guys go for this. Yeah, well, it's groovy. David has just put on the softs. So if he does come out again, and he doesn't like... Maybe he gets pushed down some spots, then obviously he'll probably put in a lap on those softs. If not, he'll keep that medium time. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, Tito's on the mediums, routine. NTC obviously on the medium, so several guys thinking that the medium to soft is the better strategy, the alternate.
I think you're right though. I don't think we've really seen that much this year. Normally it's only one or two guys going with the kind of alternate strategy.
Right.
We normally don't see the field kind of split in two right now of our runners.
We really don't see it. I mean, we do short quali. Maybe there's talk of next season maybe going to a full quali, but that's yet to be seen. So I mean, yeah, in short quali, it's not too prevalent. Gelfie about to put in what most likely will be his last time of the night. We'll see how these guys are able to finish out quali. Oh, David's retired from the session. I don't know if that's been on purpose or not. I can't see a stopped car.
I was gonna say I don't see his car anywhere.
Oh, Gelfie absolutely sending it over those curbs. He's so close to track limits. Let's see, what is his sector 2 going to be? How does he get on with this hairpin? Again, just super clean. He gets the car turned in so nicely. And obviously I think a lot of these guys are going to be using 11 on their front wing. I think the guys that are taking the chance of not using 11 on those front wings, they should be damn close to 11. Maybe 10, maybe 9 at the least on that front. So it's pretty impressive when you see, you know, he's still a guy that's outclassing the field in specific turns. Because, yeah, Gelfie looking way cleaner through those turns than anybody else. I'm interested to see. Can he
it'd be nice if we had the stats, how they'll give you on real life corner and speeds and different things like that.
That would be lovely. I mean, we could get it. I would need all these guys to give me their IPs
live,
live telemetry. So Gelfie stays in fourth. Nothing changing there. There's McLaren coming across the line. I think this is Hewlett, who hasn't put in a lap yet, so he needs something. He goes P7. That's above the championship leader. Puts in a 1:33.1. AlphaTauri coming across.
Oh, TC Rex, and he's out!
Oh, no. I just got on board with him, and he hasn't put in a lap yet.
No time. He got on the throttle just... Oh, and that's so unfortunate. He was barely on the curves and just barely lit up the throttle. And it instantly spun him all the way to the side. It was kind of a slow spin, too, but just enough to break the left side tire.
So here comes suspension. Tails. The man on a charge for... The league, really. They're now 1-2, and the Alphas, they're now 1-2. David's still in first, Tails in second. So, I mean, maybe...
Whoa! The car sitting backwards, who is that?
That was Canadian. I think he DNF'd, and his car is just sitting there, oh, so close to track limits there for Tails. So, routine, ending the session. He's going to be the last of the people that have put in a time.
Yeah, I'm sure Tails was not expecting to see that because you're not allowed to park there. But
it's almost like when you're on the interstate. Have you seen that video where the dude's driving and his wife is asleep and
and the
he's
truck
behind
is
the semi
backwards?
Yeah, that's what that reminded me of, dude. Like you're going around a blind corner and that's all you see. So Tails actually just set a purple second sector. Let's see what he's able to do in this third sector, because if he's able to maybe, he said, I believe
Takes
he
that
said a
one pretty
green
tight.
in the first sector, so we'll see if he's able to get this pole position.
It's looking pretty tidy so far here at the end. Let's see.
Oh no!
Oh,
I think he's ran out of fuel.
there.
What just happened there?
Yeah, that was very weird there. Did he not want
Oh,
to
he pulled
improve
out.
or something?
He pulled out of the lap. So he wants
Oh,
to
he's
stay
on
on the
medium.
mediums.
Okay.
He wants to stay on the mediums. I was thinking that he was like running out of fuel there, but I was like, that's too abrupt.
Yeah, to just stop like that. That was almost like Valtteri setting that fastest lap a few races ago.
So, I believe that will do it. And as I said before, we have got an interesting, really an interesting top 10. A lot of guys are out of position right now, to be completely honest. Canadian Necktie on pole.
Nothing underrated up there.
Right? Biohazard. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I gotta wait. But no, yeah, I saw underrated there, the top 4. He did finish fourth.
And a new runner.
He finished 4th last race out.
Yeah, had a good run. Yeah, and the new runner, as you mentioned earlier, hi, I'm KK, 3rd place.
Right. Also, Blood Gustavo, there in P6. The Brazilians locking out P5, 6, and 7. So, Canadian Necktie on pole with that 131.6. Nobody able to match that except Bio did come within 3,500s. So, not too far off. We have got Bio, I am KK, most underrated, Gelfie, Blood Gustavo, Tails, Hewlett, David Chahood, Groovy in 10th, Nander, Thunder, Tito, Routine, and the rest of them. Total Carney, Master Raper, Matt
Take
Hammer.
a breath, my man.
I wasn't sure I was going to be able to like scroll down the page in time, but I got it.
Very nice. Yeah, no, it should be. Yeah, I think it should be a good one though, because like you mentioned though, a lot of guys are kind of a little bit out of position.
I think Celestial was getting a little bit of a surprise call, but no, yeah, a lot of guys out of position. We've got Groovy in I think 10th. Tails is outside the top 5. David, I think, is also outside the top 5. TC obviously is going to be starting basically from the back in P15, I think. So, yeah, a lot of guys out of position. A lot of potential battles to come. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. Things happen, but like I said, yeah, it looks like blue skies, no rain in the forecast. And I think I'm most interested to see. Oh, okay. The Red Bull like wasn't going anywhere, but I think I'm most interested to see how these the Red Bulls do. Both these guys kind of newer in the division. Really interested because yeah, they're both in. They're in a position to pull home the most points as a team. So, can they possibly make an impact on the constructors? Can they maybe help or hinder one of these Alpine boys or one of the Alfa Romeo boys? We will see. But,
yeah, the constructors right now, I think, is Alfa Romeo leading by a significant bit. I can't remember exactly,
right, it's
but
303 to 254. The Alpines had a really rough race, I think, last time out.
It's roughly almost 50 points.
Right, so yeah, it's about a 50-point gap right now. The drivers, obviously, a lot closer. Only 4 points between Tails and David. Only 9 points between Total Carney and Tails. And then another 8 points between Total Carney and Groovy. 20 points between him and Gelfie. So, everybody's so close. Azure missing out on this race. I think he said he was feeling under the weather. So, hopefully he is feeling a little bit better. Maybe he's watching this race. If he is, screw you. Anyway. I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah, no, it is super tight, like you're saying. It's really still kind of up for grabs. We still kind of have a third of the season left to go, and it's, one bad race, and you could be at the back of that pack already of that front little group.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. One slip up between David or Tails, and we did see just a few weeks ago they had a race where they both did not score points. So, anything is possible. Just like you see in real life, anything can happen. in this game, and it's even more so in this game, to be completely honest with you. Especially when, I mean, they're in the positions that they are, P7 and P9. I'm sure they kind of wish that David was maybe in front of that McLaren to give him a little bit more protection, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Starting in the midfield is not always easy when you're following, 8 cars.
I went on board with Canadian there, and it's given a pretty interesting nose cam there I have not seen yet.
So I didn't see it, actually. Interestingly enough. But getting underway here in a second. Pull up the tires really quick.
And the lights are out, and they're away. And it's a good start for Canadian.
The Alfa Romeo's already, I think, are side by side.
Comes all the way connect. Oh, they touch.
There's something going on. There's another spinner. That David's out. David spun. He's in last place, and it's Hayam KK as well.
Oh no! And they drop all the way down to the back of the
Tails
field.
is already in P3 on mediums.
Oh, and then there goes around a Ferrari. A routine.
That is routine. Yep, he is going out. Somebody else is there with him. That's not Sir Vapor, the Mercedes. Oh, Hayam KK spinning again. His tires just on fire. But Canadian,
well, that's an 8/10 gap,
chilling right now.
I'm not sure if it was the other Red Bull of Blood. Gustavo had just such an amazing jump on everybody, and maybe try to dive down to the inside, and maybe collected his teammate there.
Right, and it's a big deal that Tails right now is already up into P3, and also Groovy is into P7. The medium runners, really, all of them are doing really well right now. Obviously, P9, P7, and P3, to be on those mediums, you love to be inside the top 10 already inside the first lap when you're on the alternate strategy. That's going to go a long way as long as you keep that nose clean.
Yeah, no, they're already making up places and getting themselves in a good position. Tails.
Keep in mind, Gelfie's looking racy. Gelfie's looking racy. Gelfie looks like he honestly could. If anything happens here at the front, and with how he's driving, I could just, like, the way his style is coming out, it's so good for tires. The way that he drives is so subtle. Almost George Russell-like, where everything is just a fluid motion. We've got a retirement. We'll see if that leads to a safety car, but I think it was inside of the pits. So, but no, as I was saying, it's so fluid, and I just think that on a track like this, if he's able to make these softs last, and then put on those mediums, he could still definitely be a danger to any one of these first, second, or third place runners at the end of the race.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the predicted pit strategy telling us it's a two-stop. I guarantee nobody will willingly do a two-stop here. So, ignore that. Nobody will willingly do a two-stop here.
Oh, and Groovy tries to pull out on
the
Red Bull side by side here. Maybe a tiny bit of contact.
Oh, a little bit of a squeeze. Can get the up and under. Oh,
the Red Bull goes around.
He avoids the wall, but yeah, he's just gone around. So Groovy,
he's gonna get back on track.
I don't think there was any contact there, so Groovy getting the benefit of that spin, not having to battle too hard. He does have Thunder, though, right behind him. Thunder having a nice little start to the race as well.
Yeah, Thunder keeping right on that gearbox, looking a little racy with them softs as well.
Not to mention, we haven't mentioned Nat yet. Nat had the qualifying ban this race, and he's already up 8 positions into P9. So, I mean, a lot of big gainers here. Thunder's up 5 positions, Groovy's up 4, Taylor's up 4, obviously.
I seen that at the beginning. He was, not exactly sure what caused the reaction, but so many people just went wide behind that front group, and I noticed Nat and a couple other guys just able to squeeze their way in to that apex and just make up roughly 4 or 5 positions on that first turn.
Yeah, Groovy's looking really racy. He's already on the back of most underrated, and DRS is enabled this lap. Oh, they're getting pretty tight. Groovy, I think, got
Maybe
a pretty solid exit there, though.
Just a little bit of a love tap there, letting him know he was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing
DRS
too
is...
dirty there. Thunder might go for this as well. No, not quite close enough. Decides to keep it on the clean side. Doesn't want to send it down the inside. Decides to file back in. Oh, he does touch the back. Most underrated, as we were saying. He was being smart. That was pretty scary. I didn't see anything fly off.
No, hopefully if it's damaged, it's just very subtle and very minor. But underrated actually did it. Yeah, I thought that was a good job to not lose 2 positions there. Couldn't defend against